Hey guys, thank you for joining us for another episode of Inspired by MsAmberRed. I am here with Chare'e today, the brow babe.
Chare'e.
Chare'e. That's all right, girl. You know
right.
what? I kind of go back and forth with it, and I'm like, Chare'e.
I know how it looks online versus how it is. I'm like, nope, it's Chare'e. It's all right.
That's good. The brow babe, though.
Yes.
That I don't like, because you do more than just brows.
I know. Trust me. I was like, but the lip babe sounded lame too. But to be fair, my name used to be your brow therapist, but when you would type it in, it looked like your bro rapist, and I was just like,
oh my God.
So like a lot of my clients were like, did you see what it looks like online? And I was like, oh, okay, we're getting a new name. So we rebranded, and I became the brow babe.
The brow babe plus more.
Babes. We're babes now. We are the brow babes.
I like it. So tell everybody who you are.
All right. So my name is Chare'e Marnice. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I am a permanent makeup artist. We just won second 2 years ago, and then last year we won first best in our city.
Hell yes.
I know, right? That's dope.
Hell yes. That's awesome.
That's who I am. No, I'm just joking. No, honestly, no. Let's see. My son, I have a son. I'm a mom. I was a mom at 19. My son just turned 20. I know, right? It's crazy. I have a 20-year-old son. I'm a permanent makeup artist, and I just out here living my life.
And you're so pretty.
Oh, thank you. I love that. Thank you.
You rebranded. How long have you been in the industry?
Okay, 8 years.
8 years.
Yep.
And fully in permanent makeup 8 years?
So August will make 8 years.
Okay.
So I started in 2016, and then in 2018 is when I branched out on my own.
Okay.
So however you want to count it.
That's a long time.
It is.
So you finally know what the hell you're doing.
I do. I kind of know what I want to be when I grow up. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. I love it.
I feel like it took me like a good 5 years to feel that way. So that's why I was like, okay, well, you're past that hurdle.
I've had a lot of like great women in my life, a lot of great mentors, a lot of women who I've trained with that I'm like, okay, they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's hard. You can do it too. Just do it. And then I just do it.
And then you just do it.
Honestly.
Yeah. So you, before the cameras, I don't know if you got this on camera, before the cameras were rolling, you made an interesting point. So during that transition, so you kind of like found you had somebody in your studio that you were like, in your studio, right?
Yes.
It's your sole owner of your studio.
I'm sole owner.
So that is kind of interesting to me, because how do you think you got in that position to begin with? Let's go back and talk about that story a little bit.
Okay.
So like it was your best friend, and like just tell everybody kind of the situation that was going on.
Okay. All right. So, so my old office manager, she quit because I don't know. She didn't like my party and she didn't like my things, but my son's grown. I'm able to do things that I want. And she was in recovery. She's beautiful, but our lives didn't align. And so she walked out on me, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do, right? And this girl who didn't necessarily like me very much was part of our friend group, and she needed a job, and I needed somebody to work. So honestly, that's how it started. So, I mean, she came in, she whipped me into shape. I'm not going to say she didn't. She helped me be a lot more strict. She is very much, she always called her the Gestapo. She is very, and I'm like very free, and she was not. Yeah. And she helped me uphold like my policies and things like that. But at the end of the day, she wasn't very nice to me. She'd say things that were hurtful, even though she didn't really know they were hurtful. And me, being the type of person I am, I have abandonment issues, go figure, right? But being the type of person that I am, I know, right? Ouch. But I kept it around because to me, having somebody there who loved me was different. That was better than having the unknown. Mm-hmm. And boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
Having the unknown was the best decision I've ever made. We parted ways. My old best friend and I parted ways in November of last year. And a girl that had been working for me, just all she did was do brow tinting and waxing, like 1 day a week. She'd come in, but she'd come in the office and she'd help and she'd do all kinds of stuff for us. And I was like, I can't fire her. I can't fire her. And she said, why?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have anybody who's going to help me. And she said, I'll help you. I was like, girl, you have a full-time job. You get up at 4, you're at work at 4, and you work until 1:30, and then you come here. She said, I'll be all right. Best decision I've ever made, hands down. Like, so when she told me she'd take over, I was like, next day, I was like, so it looks like we're not a good fit anymore.
The immediate go-to. We're not a good fit anymore.
Absolutely.
Just like you have a bad client, we're not a good fit anymore.
Yes. That's how I break up with girls. I'm like, it just looks like we're not a good fit. And that's what it was.
Yeah.
And whatever you believe in, the universe blessed me with something that fit really well. And
that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. 5 stars. 10 out of 10
do it
recommends.
sooner. She's
Yes,
saying it,
absolutely.
do it sooner.
If you feel like somebody's in your business and they're holding you down, then you really need to just pay attention to that. How you feel when you're around that person. Does that person make you feel empowered?
Yeah.
Or does that person make you feel low? Because the person before made me feel low.
Right.
And my new office manager, she pumps me up on a daily
Like, let's
basis.
fucking
Like
go.
she always
Let's-
says, you gas everyone else up in the
Yeah.
studio. Every client that walks in here, you give. Who gives back? And the answer right now is her.
Yeah.
She does. So it's been great. Hi,
all those
Eureka.
girls over there, they all do that.
You
That's
have
just-
such a cool team, man.
Yeah. I feel like we go through like phases. It's like one day I'm like, yeah, let's go, guys, and the next day I'm like, and then the other one will come pick up. Okay, we're ready. We got this.
That
Like,
is
let's
the
go. And then
point.
the next one, it's like we kind of rotate through each
But
individual
that is
person.
the point of having somebody. You
Yeah.
can't have somebody who's constantly up here.
Yeah.
Somebody has to give back. And when you're not feeling it, the next person's here to drag you along. So that
Well, and
until
it's
you
hard
feel it.
because like being the face, you're the business person. It's like you got people hitting you from every which direction. It's
Everywhere.
like the more people you bring on, the more shit that happens, the more issues you got to deal with, and not because of them, just because the massive overload of the people that now
Absolutely.
you're seeing,
Absolutely.
and the
It
personalities
changes.
you're dealing with, and the this and that. It's like
Yes,
holy
ma'am.
shit, like it's like an and I don't even like people.
How is it that we go into these industries? I'm always like, I don't like people, and I'm kind of
I
like an
know.
introvert extrovert, and like my love language is words of affirmation. And after they leave, you hear no affirmation. They forget that that you did their brows until they're ready for you. And it changed my life. Well, you sure didn't let anybody know. Didn't get a tag. You know what I mean? Like, it's
I always
funny.
feel so bad because like before they come in, I'm like, okay, let me get my shit together. And they
Yes.
walk in, I'm like, oh my god, so great to see you. And I'm looking, I'm like, who the fuck is this? I don't remember who is this. Where are my notes? I need to see my notes. I don't know who this is because you see so many people, and it's like constantly. It's like such a fast like tornado that you're in constantly.
Yes, no, Derica, that is her thing. So she'd be like, okay, new client. Her name's Connie. She's a brow correction. Hey, girl, how are you? Yes, long time no see.
I totally remember what we're supposed to be doing here right now.
I don't even remember to eat or drink water most days. I always forget to feed and water the Chare'e. It's like being a business owner. You forget to feed and water yourself.
Literally.
I feed and water the plants.
That's Tasha. I don't do that. They would be dead. So what made you decide to get in? We're like, we don't like people. We don't want to like that stuff. But it's like, what made you decide to get into the industry?
Honestly, I was just looking for an out. My job, like what I was doing at that time. So I had been through a couple careers. We'll get into that. For one, I worked, as a dominatrix, and then from there I became a photographer, and then I also coached cheerleading on the side because like, who doesn't love cheerleading? So I know you're like, me, leave me alone. So I had blown my knee out doing a back tuck because like I always say, I'll never tell you to do anything I can't do myself. Well, I couldn't that day and I hurt myself. And I was just over the bridezillas and I was over everything, and I was looking for a new job, and I landed one as a front desk as a receptionist in a spa. And that's kind of like how
cool.
everything kind of rolled in from there.
Yeah. Very cool. And then, so you didn't work for anybody else? You just jumped into open your own, like a studio? What's that look like?
So I had worked at the spa for 2 years. So pretty much I couldn't afford it. I was a single mom, 19. I had been robbing Peter to pay Paul my whole life, right? Making sure this bill gets paid and before that bill gets paid because this one might get shut off first, So I was making $14, $15 an hour there, and I wanted to get my brows done. And I asked around. They all suggested permanent makeup by Hotaru, which shout out to my mentor. She's absolutely wonderful. But I was like, oh my God, I know her. I went to school there. Oh my God. You know what I mean? So I contacted her and I talked to her, and she told me, she was like, well, I'm going to do a class. It's $5,000. And I was like,
Yeah, shit.
I don't even have like $200 in my bank account right now. Like what? And she was like, but I have been wanting to get my body lasered. Do you think your boss would trade you out? And I was like,
Let me see what I can do.
He doesn't know it right now, but he
Yeah.
will. Okay. So that's how I did. So I'd worked there for about a year and a half. He got me trained. I still worked my regular 9 to 5, and then at 5 I would clock out and I would see 2 clients. So I'd be there until 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. And then I did that from 2016, 2017, 2018 or 2017, and then we parted our ways. He was a jerk, and I branched out on my own.
Dang, girl.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And now it's you and your amazing office manager, and
Yep.
the vibes are good.
Oh,
and
yes, and then
everything's good.
yes. So I have Derica, my office manager. I have Alyssa. She's been with me since she was 13. I used to coach her in cheerleading. She has worked with me.
Oh, that's very cool.
Throughout all of these years, and she's our social media. She does all the videos. She does all the recording.
How old is she now?
She just turned 21. We went out with
Holy
her.
shit.
Period. It was amazing. Like she is my bonus baby.
That is so cool. That's a long time. So that's a long relationship.
She is my bonus child. When I tell you, like, I absolutely love her. And then 2 months ago, we hired our first artist. Well, I guess I wouldn't say it's our first. We've hired other artists.
Yeah.
But she's killing it. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
This is the first artist that's killing it.
Yeah.
She has her own studio about an hour and a half up from me, and she's older. She'd been following me for years. She was like, I just bought a house in Louisville. I'm looking for some extra work. You got any? And she showed me all the people she was trained by, and I was like, for you?
Yes.
Absolutely I do. Absolutely I do. And I have grown so much in just the 2 months that she's been there, because it's no longer me teaching.
Yeah.
I'm able to sit back and listen because she's been in the business 16 years. You know what I mean? Like, she's showing me easier ways to do things, and I'm like, I don't know everything.
No, absolutely.
I don't. That's
I
why
feel like the second we feel like we know everything, the second you're going to fuck yourself, right?
Absolutely,
It's
that's
like
lame.
You can't stop.
Absolutely not.
You don't.
No,
Nobody
ma'am.
knows everything. Like,
No.
Anyways.
Not at all. Yes.
I'm like, what else can I ask you?
All right. You want to, like, everybody often wonders how I got, like, everybody always wonders about, like, I guess my past. Like,
All right.
because, you know, I'm so open about it. I am. I'm so open
I
about
see
it.
you on social media.
I know. I talk about
love
it.
it, though.
I love that. I love my feet.
No, I
People
love
love
it.
my feet. It's not
Yeah.
my problem. They love my feet.
I've been saying since day one I obviously, I'm a little more like, I try to stay muted unless somebody pisses me the fuck off, and I come for them. But anyways, other than that, I'd stay pretty like, okay, I'll give you what I want to give you type stuff, which I know that's what you're doing too. But it's like, I've always felt that there's something to that, because and this is going to make me probably sound like an asshole, and I don't care. But when I feel like you do pop off, just a little bit on social media.
Absolutely.
It is it's teaching people how to treat you.
Thank you.
Another client's not going to come for me. I bet you don't come for me again like that.
Don't do that.
Exactly.
I'm a
Don't do that.
person.
Back the fuck up.
I'm a human.
Exactly. And I have opinions. And you have an opinion?
And I have
an
emotions.
opinion.
I have emotions, and I have to deal with every single person. I always tell people, I see around 150 to 175 women a month.
Literally.
Girlfriend, I'm going through a breakup too. I'm having a hard day too. I'm hungry too. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't had any
it's good
caffeine.
for the public to see and know that stuff, because otherwise they don't treat you like you're a human. That's what I was getting at. Everybody always wants to keep them so separate. It's like, here's your business, here's your life. No, bitch, my life is my business, so it's kind of intermingling.
And yes, absolutely. That right there, absolutely. My business is my life. You know what I mean? And like, when people disrespect me, I'm so the person. I'm like, it's okay. She was just being mean. What? Like, I can take a lot. Like, I have an insane, whatever. I do have a main. I have an insane amount of bullshit that I can take.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm just like, I see the good in everything.
Right,
I do.
same.
That's who I am as a person. Like, I know people are like, oh, she's got an RBF. I do. It's just how I look. I can't help it. But there comes a point, like, once you start disrespecting me, it's like so my old name used to be Lashley Disaster. That was her name. Shout out to her. She got me to where I am today. But she steps in for me when people start to disrespect me, when people start to take advantage of me. It's almost like this part of my body that I have healed since, from when I was working as a BDSM, as a dominatrix.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that was one too many disrespects. You know what I mean? And then immediately she pops up and she's like, so we're not talking to her like that. And literally, because I'm like, I shouldn't do this because of business. But also, Lashley's like, did you hear what she just said to you? And I'm like, I did.
Yeah.
So yes, that's it.
Yeah.
So like, the story that I tell a lot of the times is, so I was, like, my whole job, my whole life, all I was ever going to do was be a singer. I played 6 instruments. My mom, every night that I could, I was in the studio writing, doing something, right? And then I got pregnant, and I did not want to have a baby. My mom was like, it's okay. I've wanted a baby for so long. My mom's a lesbian. So they were excited. I wasn't. So they pretty much talked me into keeping my child. Fast forward 3 months after he was born, they split up, right? And they're like, so, guess what? You have to take this baby. And, whatever, that's cool. I took the baby. It is what it is. I figured it out. But at 21, I started working in the strip clubs, right? I started doing all kinds of stuff. I started doing whatever I could because I didn't have any life skills. I didn't even do my laundry, by the way. I'd never done laundry until after my son was born. So pretty much I started working in a strip club, and this girl would always come in, and one day she would come in with her little, like, subs, and she'd make them rub my feet, and she would pay us for our time. And one day she said, let me show you how to make money without ever taking your clothes off.
Done.
Sold. You know what I mean? I was like, let's go, cut the check. You know what I mean? Right. So pretty much, she was a dominatrix, and she had like a 1-800 number. She had an online dominatrix stuff, and then she did real time. And so we started out online. I was an adult friend finder. I worked on all these little cams and stuff like that. Was I like banging myself? Absolutely not. No, I was just being mean to people. What? being mean to somebody for $6 a minute, that's amazing. You know what I mean? So I did that. And from there, I did real time. And I did that for about 8 years. I still went to college. I did all kinds of stuff. And my old best friend, she decided that she was done being my friend. And she posted me peeing on some dude. And said, with my photography, and it said, Chare'e Marnie's photography. Do you want them taking photos of your children?
I am coming for you. I don't care who you are. Like,
I was like,
you're going to have me knocking on your door, and one of us is going to jail or ending up dead. I don't know what's happening, but take that. I'm just kidding. But.
No, but no. So, but being the person I am, I owned up to it. It is what it is. Yeah, it's me. And then, of course, my child's father finds out. We go through a fucking messy, custody case, 3 years of that. And during that period of time, I was making my way out of it. I was in photography. I was doing everything I could to get out of it. And then I made it. I became a good photographer. I became known in my city for boudoir. I was in 3 magazines, like international magazines. I was doing fashion. I was just like, that part of me I didn't need her anymore, Like I was done. And then, so then I started the spa. And you know what's really cool is I always say my past careers have made me who I am now. Lashley Disaster, the dominatrix, she made me stand up for myself,
Absolutely.
Right? But then you also have Chare'e the photographer, and that is what I made my claim to fame on. I created the very first permanent makeup photography course.
Yeah.
And this was probably 2017, because I saw that no one could take photos and no one wiped their damn limbs off. Wipe the lens off and use some light, Laura. Jesus.
Laura.
God. So that's what I did. I saw that there was a need for something in our industry. And I was like, what can I do to help? And I was like, girl, you're a photographer. Let's show people how to take photos of their work.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's it.
I still feel like people still struggle with that to this
They
day.
do.
Or I'm like, you guys, the camera does the work for you these days for the most part.
My
I just don't understand the...
My office manager cannot take a picture of a brow to save her life. But me...
There's something about the angle.
She's on payroll. She's on payroll for the angles. You hear me? I'm like, period. What's up? Okay. Brows. Just can't, know? So I think that it's pretty cool because I've been able to use all 3 of my careers, and coaching. I train now, so I coach cheerleading. I now coach the way that I would with cheerleading. You know what I mean?
I think that's how life goes, though. It's like, no, but it doesn't matter where you were. It's like how you're going to use that to get you to where you want to be. It's like you're using it as fuel to your fire.
Absolutely.
Even shitty situations, it's like you're still coming out of it like, okay, don't need you. On to the next. Thank you for being an asshole. Now I'm going to show you what I really can do.
Do you know that it has been the best revenge?
No, absolutely.
Me. Absolutely. And then the other girl that my old best friend, it was 2 of my best friends that did that, right? She actually went into being a permanent makeup artist too. And guess what? I'm doing her corrections. Won't he do it?
I almost bet you that every female woman person that has the drive that's like, okay, now watch me do this. It's like we all have somebody in the background that we're like, we know you're watching, and guess now what we're gonna do. It's just and it's not like we give a shit about what that person says, thinks, does. We're just like, we're gonna show you wrong. So keep thinking that.
I've proved everybody wrong in my life, and owning the Brew-babes has been one of the biggest honors that I could ever imagine, because every day I get to lay my hands on somebody, on a female, he, she, they, it, whatever you want to call it. I get to lay my hands on somebody, and I get to pour love into them, and I get to then make them feel confident enough to walk out without makeup. The amount of women who tell me that they no longer wear makeup the way that they used to now that their brows or their lips are done, right? That's empowering. Growing up like somebody like myself who's biracial, I grew up not wearing makeup. Like, your girl's got on blush right now, blush and lipstick, and I wear eyelashes. So to not have foundation on constantly has to be empowering. To know that you look good with or without makeup, that has to be empowering. So
I feel like brows, it's a game changer, because that's how I first got in the industry too. I was cocktailing overnights, working 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. and I was like, fuck this. I don't even think most people know my story because I keep quiet, but I'm just like, I am not gonna wake up every day, and I'm just like, I just couldn't do it. And I was like, I haven't had eyebrows pretty much my whole life, so I was like, let me find something and tattoo these things on my face. And then just waking up to be able to go and just have eyebrows is just, and I'm like, I always tell people, I'm like, I can't tell you this, but I'm gonna tell you this. It's game changing.
It is. It is the most game changing thing. My mentor, again, she did my brows before, like a couple weeks ago, right? I still go back to her. I tell her all the time, you changed my life. Yeah. And she said, no, you changed your life. Okay, I get it. I did it. Okay, but you did. For one, you gave me brows, which made me feel empowered. 2, you gave me a trade. You gave me a trade that there is no limits to what I can do with that. And you took me from being some girl from Louisville, Kentucky, had a kid at 19, no real relationship with either one of her parents. You gave me a trade And she said, but you did it. Okay, I did it, but you did it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You did it. And that's what I feel about like coaches, trainers, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like everyone that I've trained with, including you. I'm always like, you take a little bit of that person with you and you use that to fuel your career further.
Yep.
I love
and it may not be exact. You may not be like, oh, I'm going to do this exactly the way that person does.
No.
You're just taking bits and pieces of everybody and making it into your own.
That's exactly what it is. That's why, everybody said, why do you train with people still? Well, because I don't know everything. And, I remember I used to have all these things on my tray. And the more people I went with, the less things on my tray I had. You know what I mean? And now I'm like
you're like,
that's
now there's
it.
nothing
There's
on my
nothing
tray.
there. I'm like, that's it. Next, we're out of here,
Yeah.
And like eyeliner, right? I used to not think that I was going to be able to do this bold, thick eyeliner, right? The stylized. That's what I refer to as stylized, right? Because everybody has a rule of what can't be done or why can't be done. And when I decided, I was like, who am I going to train with? Am I going to do a more Russian style shaded eyeliner, or am I going to do a thick? And I was like, we're going thick. We're going bold. Or going home.
Yeah.
And it really allowed me to, you also taught me to be more comfortable working with the tattoo machine. Whereas, a lot of us are trained in, not that they're not the same, they are the same, okay? Yeah. But
a
traditional, tattoo machine, needle in the bar, I was always so scared of that, or using a Cheyenne or something like that on something so delicate as the eye. But now I'm like, oh, she'll be aight.
Yeah.
The eye's resilient.
And I feel like it's like almost like the core fundamentals, like that foundation that you're building from knowing how to do bold. You can now always pedal back and be like, okay, now I can add some fluff to the top. I can, maybe this person's a little more. I can add a little bit more. Like you can kind of play with it, and then from there you can do whatever the hell you want.
I was single needle constantly. I was single needle in 3 rounds, right? When I came to you, I learned 9s. I learned 14s. I learned an 18. I was like, holy, these thick boys. These are thick boys.
Yeah, that's funny. Yes. Well, I don't know how this time flew by, but we're running out of time.
Okay, no worries.
But I want you to tell the world anything that you want to tell them. Anything they need to know. I definitely want them to know where they can contact you because you are doing trainings.
Oh, yes,
so
absolutely.
I want them to know where to find you for that. Drop your tags, give shout outs, anything that they need to know.
Okay. All right, guys. So, again, Chare'e Marnice, a.k.a. Thebrowbabe. You can find me. I am on IG, Facebook, Google. I got 5 stars on Google, baby. We got hundreds of those. So, Instagram, Thebrowbabe.charee, and that is spelled Charee.
Chare'e, you guys, Chare'e.
Chare'e. There's an apostrophe right there.
Get that shit right.
I know. My whole life, people are like, Charlie? Who the hell is Charlie? My name is Chare'e. There's not even an L. So now I've been like, you know what? I'm telling everybody. I'm just correcting everybody, and I'm doing it with love. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Okay, so Facebook, The Brow Babes. So, and if you want to text us, you can text us. It will be 502-906-6088, and we would love to hear from you all.
Why are you amazing? I love you.
Aww.
You're so damn cute. You're like, and I'm like, Amber, get your shelf together.
Remember, hold on. What I tell you? Oh, I didn't tell you. Remember, I told you my mom was like grooming me to like be famous. So like pageants, things like that. So absolutely, I don't mean like grooming, but you know what I mean. Like that was my job. I didn't mean it like that.
I grew up with 5 boys, so I'm over here like, well, man, my nose itches, and I'm like, I swear I didn't fart, you guys. Like I'm totally like, I look like this, but I am not this. Like
that's so funny.
This is work.
I was struggling today. I was like, I wanted to wear a skirt with some fishnets and some sneakers, cause like hot top sneakers, because that's like so. And Dorica said, "But baby, this is you too." And it is like, this is me.
Yeah.
But also I wear sneakers all the time, and it's me. Like I'm a shoe head. So thank you so much for having me on
thank
here.
You for coming.
Like, it was amazing.
You guys, she flew to Vegas for this. She don't even live here. What the hell?
Oh my God.
And to have some fun.
I will always come to Vegas, and every time I come to Vegas, my goal is to always see you at least once.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Well, guys, thank you so much for thank you first for joining us in Las Vegas, because that's fucking badass. But
badass
also
here.
thank you guys for joining us for this episode, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.